Hello, Sawadi. It is truly a great honor to open Social Value Matters 2021 conference. Welcome. This is the start of 2 days of incredible content, sessions and conversations. It's an incredibly important moment for Social Value Thailand and for Social Value International as a movement as a whole. This is time to celebrate our achievements together, share best practice, inspire each other, challenge each other, and strengthen our relationships. And I'm really delighted to welcome participants from 47 different countries around the world, a truly global conversation. I only wish that we could be together in person. So I want to use this short speech to highlight the great and truly unique opportunity that we all have today. And that is leading our transition to a sustainable world. But before we do that, we must first confront the challenge that we all face today. And I want to share my screen or have some slides to talk about the problem that we're all facing. If we could please have the first slide. And the first slide really takes stock of the state of the world that we're in. And I actually came across a report from the World Economic Forum from 2015. So this is 6 years ago, and it laid out trends for the global agenda. It talked of deepening income inequality, persistent jobless growth, a lack of leadership, and the growing importance of health in the economy. It spoke about threats to our democracy and the threat of climate change. Now, if you fast forward 6 years to today, 2021, we have to ask ourselves, how much progress have we made? And these images are more powerful than any words that I could say about the world today. In the last 12 months, we've seen heat waves, floods in India, France, Oman, and Thailand, wildfires in Australia, Indonesia, Morocco, California, and crop failures in Guatemala, Australia, Zambia, and Afghanistan. These are just some examples. And I don't need to show you images of human rights abuses, gender, racial inequality. I don't want to depress us any more than we need to. But we have a choice and an opportunity. And just 2 weeks ago, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, speaking about climate change, said, "We are on a catastrophic path. And we can either save our world or condemn humanity to a hellish future." Just pause there, please. And I know that we are all here because we want to save the world. And it can feel like a scary time to be alive, but it is also an opportunity, and we must see this as a privilege. And we have this opportunity living through a moment in history, and we can rise to this challenge and seize the opportunity. And in many years, we can look back and say we were part of that change. Next slide, please. Part of that change is Social Value International's vision and mission. We all belong to this social value movement because we want to tackle these great challenges of the world, the climate change, the inequality, and personal well-being. We all believe in the vision of Social Value International, which is a world where decisions are made on a broader definition of value. We make decisions that promote well-being and reduce inequality. And of course, our mission, which we'll be focusing on over the next 2 days, is to change the way the world accounts for value. We've existed since 2007 with the same vision, mission. Our ideas are what make us everlasting. And around the world, people are attracted to our movement. But I remember 8 years ago when I joined Social Value International, the network was fairly small, and talking about accounting for value was quite a niche exercise. But now this mission feels like it is starting to actually happen. It is possible to achieve the mission. We have financial institutions talking about accounting for value. This is a mainstream topic now. We have governments talking about well-being and businesses producing accounts of social value and environmental value. Legislation and even the IFRS, which is the International Financial Reporting Standards, talking about sustainability and standards. But, and please stay on the slides, it is not, no, stay on that slide, please. Oh, up one. Thank you. It is not yet mission accomplished. We still have a long way to go. And I like this image, this cartoon, because it shows us that we need a radical change to behaviors to achieve the sustainable world we want. We're looking at a paradigm shift that will not happen overnight in one moment. And as Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So we need a big leap forward. Next slide, please. So I think whilst we can get excited about this moment in history being a turning point, we need to be realistic and recognize we are entering a transition phase. And this diagram talks about the 4 stages of a transition. And I believe we are now in phase 3 of exploration, that we're no longer in denial. We may have had some resistance, but we are now entering exploration. And we need to accelerate through this to get to commitment and the new beginning. The phase we're in at the moment is characterized by creativity, hope, possibilities, openness. And we need partnerships for the goals to achieve this. But we also have apprehension. And in this phase, we're all beginning to accept the ending of the old and allowing the creation of a new normal. And it's important to note that the process is not linear. So we will feel push and pull between resistance, holding on to the old ways, and exploring the potential new beginnings. It's human nature to desire both. We want to stay safe in what we know, the old, but also experience something different and new. So over the next 2 days, we must all reflect deeply on this idea of transition and moving through these phases. In particular, I want people to ask themselves, what opportunities are available now that we are not previously available to us? And what are the risks that I'm willing to take in this phase? So I believe this phase of exploration requires great courage from us all. And so we must think about leadership. And next slide, please. What is leadership? We know that next month, the leaders of countries will gather for COP26. There is a crescendo of noise and support to make this a turning point. The world leaders need to be brave and courageous and show leadership, but we can all be leaders as well. And I have some quotes about leadership to share. One from John C. Maxwell, who said that leadership is not about titles and positions of power. It's about one life influencing another. Henry Kissinger said the next quote, which is, the task of the leader is to get people from where they are to where they have not been. Next slide, please. And so throughout the next 2 days, I will ask you to head to our mural board, which is a communal space for us, to add a post-it note and say, what are you going to do to help lead our transition to a sustainable world? We can put this link in the chat, and hopefully you can see everybody's contributions over the next 2 days. And finally, the last slide, I want to recognize 2 inspirational leaders who have helped us come to this moment today. I want to recognize the efforts and contributions of Rebecca Harvey from Social Value International, Networks and Membership Manager, and Sakulthit, or Bo, as we call her, from Social Value Thailand, two incredible women who have worked tirelessly to make this event possible. Becca worked tirelessly not just about this event, but all year round. She works to grow our networks and create the space for you all to thrive. Constantly trying to make our membership more inclusive, more diverse, and always challenging others, including myself. I'm very grateful for your leadership. And Bo, you truly are a formidable woman. I am completely in awe of your energy, your vision, and your ability to execute these ambitious plans that you have. This event really would not be possible without you. So I'm grateful to you. And on behalf of everyone here in the next few days, we're all grateful for your leadership. The quote there is from actually Bill Gates. And his quote on leadership is rather pertinent to the work of all of us, particularly these two. He says, as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. So I think that's a fitting note to end on from me. Thank you all for listening, and I hand over to Bo.